The year was 1982. A small, unassuming computer, clad in black with a rainbow stripe, arrived in British homes. This was the Sinclair Spectrum, brainchild of inventor Clive Sinclair, priced at an astonishingly low £125 for the 16-kilobyte model and £175 for the 48-kilobyte version. The Spectrum brought computing within reach of the everyday family. This was a pivotal moment in technological history, the spark that ignited a revolution in home computing. Prior to the Spectrum, computers were largely confined to universities and research labs, complex machines understood by a select few. The Spectrum changed all that. Suddenly, living rooms across the UK were transformed into digital playgrounds. Children were no longer just playing games, they were learning to code, creating their own digital worlds, and pushing the boundaries of what was possible with this new technology. The impact extended beyond the home. Schools embraced the Spectrum, integrating it into classrooms and introducing a generation to the fundamentals of computer science. Small businesses, previously reliant on manual processes, found a powerful tool in the Spectrum, using it for everything from accounting to stock management. The Spectrum's affordability and accessibility democratized technology, empowering individuals and transforming the UK's technological landscape. The Spectrum wasn't just about spreadsheets and databases. It was a gaming machine extraordinaire. Its limitations, particularly its color palette and sound capabilities, forced developers to be creative, and the results were nothing short of remarkable. Iconic games like Jet Set Willy, Chucky Egg and Manic captivated players with their addictive gameplay and innovative design. These games weren't just pixels on a screen, they were shared experiences, fueling playground conversations and forging friendships. The Spectrum's success lay not just in its hardware, but in the vibrant and innovative software ecosystem that blossomed around it. Developers, many of them self-taught teenagers working from their bedrooms, pushed the Spectrum to its limits, creating a library of thousands of games that spanned every genre imaginable. Before the Spectrum pioneers of the 8-bit era, the Spectrum didn't emerge in a vacuum. It was part of a wave of 8-bit home computers that swept the globe in the early 1980s. Machines like the Commodore 64 with its superior graphics and sound, and the BBC Micro, embraced by the UK education system, laid the groundwork for the Spectrum's success. These early computers, while primitive by today's standards, were technological marvels in their own right. They introduced concepts like programming languages, floppy disks, and digital art to a generation raised on board games and typewriters. The Spectrum, with its aggressive pricing and focus on accessibility, built upon this foundation, bringing computing to the masses. The Spectrum legacy, a lasting impression. The reign of the 8-bit home computer was relatively short-lived. By the late 1980s, more powerful 16-bit machines like the Amiga and Atari ST had begun to dominate the market. However, the impact of the Spectrum and the 8-bit era in general on the computing landscape is undeniable. The Spectrum inspired a generation of programmers, game developers, and digital entrepreneurs. Many of the UK's leading figures in the technology industry today cut their teeth on the Spectrum, learning to code in basics, experimenting with graphics, and pushing the boundaries of what was possible with limited resources. The legacy of the Spectrum is not just in the millions of units sold, but in the countless individuals it inspired to pursue careers in technology. A personal reflection, my time with the Spectrum. I must confess I myself was swept up in the Spectrum mania. Like many teenagers at the time, I was captivated by its potential. I spent countless hours hunched over my Spectrum, not just playing games, but learning to program, creating rudimentary animations, and even attempting to compose my own chiptune music. The Spectrum wasn't just a computer, it was a portal to another world, a world where creativity was king, and the only limit was your imagination. It fostered a sense of community, a shared passion for technology, and the endless possibilities it offered. Even today, decades later, I can still recall the distinctive whirring of the cassette player loading a game, the anticipation building with each agonizingly slow rotation of the tape. Beyond the Spectrum, the future of home computing. The Sinclair Spectrum may be a relic of the past, but its spirit lives on. The home computer revolution it ignited paved the way for the digital age we live in today. The smartphones in our pockets, the laptops on our desks, the tablets we use to read the news, they are all descendants of those early 8-bit pioneers. As technology continues to advance at an exponential pace, it's important to remember the machines and the people who paved the way. The Sinclair Spectrum, with its simple design and boundless potential, serves as a reminder that innovation can come from anywhere, and that even the most unassuming of devices can spark a revolution.